Behind the scenes here in WCW at the time, the tension is starting to boil over a little bit between Hall and Nash and the Nasty Boys. Jerry Sags is just coming off of a concussion, and during a house show, Hall is going to throw a chair at him while he's outside the ring and catch Sags in the head with it. Sags is not a man to piss with, from what I've heard, and he takes exception to this. And while Hall is feeding him a comeback, Jerry's going to punch Scott for real, and he's going to knock out a tooth and give him a black eye and reportedly break his eardrum. Ted, this story has become something of like a backstage legend, and it's ultimately going to spell the end of Sags in WCW. Any chance you remember any of this drama?
The only thing I was there for was TV.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to the house shows. I obviously heard about this, and there's two sides to every story, and it's kind of like when it's kind of like if we call it a potato, that's wrestling lingo for instead of a working punch, you catch a real one.
Mm-hmm.
We call that a spud, a potato. He potatoed you. You got potatoed, and of course, historically, if you give somebody a potato, then you should expect a receipt. No, not always, but but if you got more than one and it was two, that's when you go ahead and give it back and say, "Hey, loosen up." So
well, it sounds like Hall got a hell of a receipt here with losing a tooth and a black eye and a broken eardrum. Like, man, that is a nasty punch from Jerry Sags.
yeah.
I mean, just hearing about it on the surface, obviously you weren't there, so you don't know all the details and you don't know if there was an issue with these guys beforehand. I mean, just hearing about it is, an overreaction from Jerry Sags after getting hit with a chair like that, or do you feel that that's a justified balance?
Well, again, and I never know, I never knew or thought that Razor, that Scott would, be like that. I mean, that's something I would expect the Warrior to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Warrior legitimately didn't give a crap about anybody that he got in the ring with. The only one he cared about was himself, and it was obvious in the way he worked. And I'm sure he potatoed a lot of people.
Yeah, it's funny because Scott has developed this reputation over the years of being kind of like vindictive and, wanting to mess with people here and there. And it's like, I don't know, like from a lot of people that have worked with him, including you, it sounds like he was a good worker and generally speaking, a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I never had a problem with Scott, but I don't know.
Sounds like Jerry did.
Yeah. You got to be there. You'd have to be there to see it.
Right.
DiBiase, obviously richer than the rest. Here's the champion. Here comes the set. It's the story of a legend.